Are you new to the world of manifestation and you're wondering, does this thing really, really work? Or maybe you've been on a 1 year, 5 year, 3 year, 10 year, 20-year journey into manifestation, but you are frustrated because it seems like nothing is moving, nothing is changing. And maybe even you, like the client I'm about to share, have spent thousands of dollars with other manifestation coaches only to manifest being thousands of dollars in the red and your manifestations still not showing up. I'm about to share with you one of my client wins. Prior to her coming and working with me and joining the Invincible CEO Wish Fulfilled Playground, she was diagnosed with cancer. And you're going to hear in her own words, within 5 weeks of joining in and working together, the cancer is completely gone, disappeared, manifested away. So if you're like her, and she's going to share her journey with you, where you've been on this manifestation journey for a long time, investing a lot of time, investing a lot of money, only to get very little results, hit or miss, or it seems like you're going in the opposite direction. This is the video for you. This is the place for you, because it shows you how the 3D circumstances can try to tell you who you are. But when you step outside of them and decide and declare and command who you really are, and walk in that power and have a supportive community and a supportive coach that take you through step by step, that your manifestations, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's career, whether it's business, relationships, it doesn't matter the topic. Once you understand what we're doing here, you are now the magical genie of your universe. You command it into being. And I am so thrilled because, as I said here, my name is Dede Powerniak and I'm the Invincible CEO, and this is the Invincible CEO Wish Fulfilled Playground. I call it what it is. You're going to receive your wish fulfilled because it's already done. It's already here. I know you hear these concepts on other channels over and over and over again, but they never give you the real thing to do. Just come out of the character and go into the I am and sit in the I am. It's already done. And you do it, but then you come back out into 3D reality and you're in real life. And it's like, what now? And the moment that you contradict it, what you've commanded, your subconscious is always impressed. It's always saying yes. So if you say, I'm healthy, and then you walk around and you're acting out the character that's not, the subconscious mind can only give you what it is that you're doing in the now moment. It doesn't matter what you did in a now moment 5 minutes ago if you're contradicting it now. So this video is a client huge win. She had the diagnosis of cancer, and 5 weeks later, it's gone. It was not something that I did. I'm just the guide. I'm just putting out the echoes for you that will keep you flooding your consciousness with the reality that's chosen. So I highly recommend watching this entire video, because you will be blown away at how simple, easy manifesting is. You just have to have a new mind that you're training to stay focused on what you've chosen, not what the 3D reality is telling you who you are. You know who you are, not the 3D reality. The 3D reality, they're leftovers. And if you eat the leftovers, you get the reruns, and you know what the reruns are. So in working together with my client, Soni, I helped her get really clear on who she is, get really certain on what she wanted, and then stay committed during the time that the 3D reality was trying to push really hard to tell her that she was sick. And she stayed on the healthy dot. The whole time she stayed on the healthy dot. And she's going to tell you in her own words what this process was, because all I want to do is see you win big, and see you win all the time. And here's the other thing that I'm going to dispel a myth. You're never healing yourself, because the version of you that's sick will always be sick. You're just removing your consciousness from that reality, and you're placing it in a reality that you are healthy and well and have always been. So there's no need to put out the fires of the old reality. It's just about leaving that. Just imagine leaving a house, and we'll call it the sick house, and you no longer want to live in the sick house. And we pack up your bags and we take everything that you want to take with you. And then we move into the house, which is the healthy house, and we stay there. And it's not that the sick house won't try to call you back. So without any further ado, here is our amazing interview. And I highly recommend that you take the time, clear your schedule, and listen to her words. This is real life, real time experience. This just happened. Enjoy. Now that we just got done that beautiful introduction, let's start with your journey. Where were you prior to finding me or the YouTube channel?
I was like a dog chasing its tail. So going round and round and round in circles, if that sums it up. Like I knew I've done many books, I've read things and done courses, but something was always missing. I just knew it was something was missing. The secret
And
sauce.
where were you in your jump off? If you were to create your jump off wheel, where was your character then? Because we're talking about her now in third person.
Everything from finances to relationships to health was caving in. And that was happening since COVID. And I've just been struggling through that. Do you see, like, it was all caving in until that was the end point.
Okay. So all this is caving in, or at least the mind is creating the story that it is, and you were fueling that belief in it, right? So when what do you mean by caving in?
It was from where I was, it was going downgrade, like downgrading everything. So relationships, but you put up a fight. It was a struggle. So I was still around, still doing things, but it was a constant struggle to keep afloat. I was still surviving. I think I was in a real survive, fight or flight mode continuously.
Okay.
That's what I was doing.
Okay. So do you remember how you found the channel?
Yes.
The YouTube channel?
Yeah, so always on YouTube looking at what is the missing ingredient, because everything was a regurgitated whatever you see. And then I just got sick of it that day, that particular day. I thought, I'll put my phone away. I'm not gonna look anymore because I'm tired of this. It's the same thing everywhere, but I know there's somebody out there that knows. You just have that belief. And then a couple of hours later, obviously, you wake up and you go back on your phone and you look for more, and there was your video. And I think you were 2 weeks into your deep dive, but as I heard you speaking, it was things that I'd learned already, but it had the experience in it, which is very different from everybody else. Like, no matter how many books you read, it doesn't have the experience. But you took us through those experiences, which was, when you do it, you think, it's supposed to be done this way. And you were saying, make sure if it feels like this, that's not the correct way. You were telling us what the mind was doing, saying, how it was stopping us. So that made the experience very real, and you could just do it there and then.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me take notice.
Okay. So you binge watched some of the videos, and what was your next step?
I scoured your channel and I went on your website, and I think you said the foundational assumptions that you could pay any amount. I think you said
name your price. Yeah, the energetic foundational assumptions. Name your price.
I found that to be very generous, and to be honest, it's not common for that to happen. People don't do that, and for somebody to believe in their things, whatever they're teaching, to be of that much value that they could offer it for, oh yeah, have something. I liked the fact that you were trustworthy when you said that if you joined my course, and then I think it was for 250 at that point, but instantly you knocked it off to $100. And if you did the course, you get $100 back. Those were things that showed me it wasn't just about the money, it was about what you were doing, you believed in it. And I thought, I'll give this a go. I've given everything else a go. This is something that I want to, and I will give it a go. So I did.
So back in May, you joined our 2-day event, the Jump Off into Your Wish Fulfilled.
I listened to the recording, but as soon as I was doing what was in my own time, starting to do the 2-day event on my own time, and I'd made sure that during the time this 2-day event was going to be on, I was going to give myself that time, and that this is for me. I'm going to do this. That's how ready I was. Expecting an operation of my sinuses, which was blocked. Not blocked, there was a growth in there. That became difficult just to do the breath work. And when I couldn't breathe, do you remember I had messaged you that I'm having difficulty even breathing? I know I have an obstruction, but it was making it just extremely difficult.
Okay.
Right after, so pain and everything. So, but I did it, and then I joined the 3-month program.
So yes, as a result of the 2-day event, I offered a 3-month program. And what was part of your decision-making process to go from the 2-day event and to commit for 3 months to do this new program?
It was the havoc that my mind wreaked on me, because knowing I was going to do the 2-day event, it went into a frenzy. I thought I'm going to take this thing, because it's been, we know how it is when your mind is running the show. It'll start caving in eventually, and I was at that point. So that was a inner battle. I think the fight within that. No, I'm not going to let this win. Still tries, it still does win at times, but at least I'm aware and awake. Thanks to you.
And what about this particular program interested you?
I would say at that point when I joined the 2-day event and then went on to do that was the only thing that I needed to learn. I knew what you were saying in your on your channel, that there's something within your channel, within your programs, had scared my ego mind. It was freaked out, the old reality, and I had to leave that. There's no other option. I wanted to leave that. So that told me, just keep going. There's something here. The value for money. The way you explain everything, you give it everything that you've got. It's all on the channel. You don't really need to do the course unless, like normal people will listen to something, and there's so many things to understand, but you don't hold back. You give everything. Any topic that you're talking about, even during the discussions that we have, like you don't just do like a 2-minute answer. That's it. Simply you go in great detail, and if there's 3 of us asking questions, if we've got 3 questions, you answer them. Mm-hmm. So, and in depth until we understand. So that is a good thing, that I'm glad that I've chosen you as a coach.
So what would you say, how has your focus changed? Because now you're finishing up the 5th week of the program, 5th strong, right? We're almost halfway there. How has your focus and your awareness in the now moment changed since you started binge watching the videos at the beginning?
I'm more aware. You have tools, and it's not just tools, it's just a way of life that I've realized that this is what we do moment by moment. You show us the framework, and then you show us how we've been doing it anyway, but for the wrong reasons, or the wrong way, for the wrong, not desires, but what would be the opposite of that? For manifestations, So coming from a place of focusing my attention on a negative thing. So I'd ask for something, but then the attention would be on my dislikes. And then I was bringing that in more than what I did want. So every now and then it's a hit and miss. Now I feel confident that I can now focus. I still have those echoes like everybody else does, I'm sure. But I can find myself easily centering myself back to where I want to go.
Awesome.
There's more There's more peace, to be honest.
That's good.
That's
Wonderful.
way much peace. It's almost too relaxing.
It does get boring to that conscious mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like, oh, now that I'm not worrying about things and fretting about them and going in a frenzy. Especially yesterday, I felt that. I think when we moved into Strong 5, I was thinking, oh, that's weird. Like, I feel very, very at peace. The normal things that interest you, it wasn't. Even videos. It was like, yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now there's a bigger story to share as a result of your transformation as you've been doing all this less than 5 weeks in, that you sent me a message and gave me permission to share it on the YouTube community channel. And we've also shared it in the Wish Fulfilled Playground. Do you want to share your little story on that? Give a little backstory and how you helped transform and transition yourself.
So when I joined your 2-day program, prior to that, for maybe about 10 years, I've had difficulty breathing. So I thought I had sinus issues. February, I had a CT scan and they found that there was a benign tumor in my nose on my left-hand side, and they decided to remove it. So when I come into your life, I'm just ready for my surgery. And so it's getting really difficult to sleep all night. Like, what are the reasons? I was having so much issues because of the obstruction. I couldn't sleep properly. So I was all over the place anyway. So when I've come into your life, I'm ready for my surgery. Okay, so the cancer wasn't diagnosed at that point. After the surgery, they contacted me to say they'd found cancer in the histology report. And I freaked out like anybody else does. That's the day I messaged you that, oh, this is my only, like, what I'm going to do now. If it had spread into the face or, further, anywhere, whatever. The word cancer itself is scary. I think it's the worst. How I manifested that's another topic. But when I contacted you after, was it 3 weeks into it, I did what you told me. It wasn't very hard.
Yeah. So we did have a conversation. We did have a session together.
We had a session together. That was just me reaching out to you saying, oh, Dede, this is what. Like, I had no other hope, it seemed like, at that point. Like, if anybody can tell me what's going on, I knew it had something to do with my own mind freaking out. And so after that conversation we had, I don't know if I can say that. You didn't charge me for that.
Yeah, you can say that.
You didn't charge me for that. It was generous of you. Nobody does that. And that is the reason I'm doing the interview for you today, because when I needed you the most, you just, yeah, I got you. That's what you said. And I never go online and do the comments and interviews. I've never thought nobody's helped to this level. And I think that's such a big thing to have been diagnosed with cancer. And then, just as I imagined it, just like you told me, that's when I got my phone call, that's what they said to me. And another phone call came 10 minutes later to.
Okay, so let's take a step back. Let's take a step back because I don't want to rush through this.
Yeah.
We had our conversation and there was a mindset shift that you had as a result of that conversation. What happened for you on your end?
You said to me, have you seen the cancer? Did you actually visually see it? Are you experiencing it in the now? And the actual answer was no. Obviously, I hadn't seen it. And you took me through that. Like, did you see the operation? Did you see whatever they took out? Did you? And if they had showed it to you, would you have seen the cancer cells? And when the answer to all of that was no, I just realized it was all silly. It manifested because I had worried about it. And when the hospital had contacted me for that reason, saying, we need you to come in because there's something here. I freaked out at that point. But when you told me, okay, you didn't see it, and I realized it was me just manifested something. So then if I could easily manifest it, I can unmanifest it. And that's what I did. I just kept telling myself, like, I'd walk around after that thinking, I've got cancer. But then I said, no, I haven't seen it. I don't. So that echo did come in. It wasn't as if it didn't come in. But over the last 3 weeks, from the time I had the diagnosis to the time the phone calls came.
So let's talk about the phone calls.
The phone calls came 3 weeks after our conversation, which was out of the blue. I had the PET scan done.
Yep. Who
Sorry,
called
the
you?
results. Sorry?
Who called you?
The hospital called.
Mm-hmm.
2 doctors from the hospital called to say, well, what I was told was, we'll see how far it's progressed, and then whether they did radiation or further surgeries. For sinuses, they don't always do chemo, but if it was something that would need to do, they do that. So I was waiting for my scan. After that was done, is when they were going to contact me for this, for the results. And I'd actually forgotten it was the 9th. They told me, okay, this big meeting happens on the 9th, and after that we get a hold of you and let you know what's happening. But I was so into what you told me to do, I forgot that I had cancer, which is on a deep level that I was living my life doing. Initially, I said, oh my God, if I don't have cancer, I'm going to quit smoking. But then I said, okay, no, this is a cookie analogy, like you said. I'm not going to take the cookies away. At a later stage, if I want to, I will. But at that point, I thought, no, I'm not going to give into the fear part of it, because that's me reacting from fear. So I'm not going to do that. So I did everything as normal. And on the 9th, I got that call saying, oh, well, we don't need you to do anything. The PET scan showed no cancer. Exactly what I'd imagined them saying. He's like, oh, we tested you, was there, but there seems to be nothing. And 10 minutes later, another doctor called me saying, oh, Soni, did you hear that the scans are negative and we don't have to do anything for now, but we'll see you in a month and just see every now and then.
How do you feel? Knowing that you are the operant power, you are this powerful creator, this is all you, how do you feel?
This is the first time I've actually done something, like, I know we create, there's good and bad, but this is something that I've done consciously. This is the biggest takeaway from this, is that once we know how to do something consciously, we can do anything. And all this time it's been hit and miss, and it's like being drunk and being in a dark room and knocking everything over, to having the light turned on, and then you can see, okay, I did make a mess there, but this is what I did, and this is what I'm gonna, that's how I feel. That the light's on. If I can tackle this one, I can do anything.
Yeah.
So now it's just finding out, what do I want, and then going from there.
What are you enjoying the most with the 3-month program?
The support that you give, the clarity that you give, the information, why something happens and how your mind thinks. Nobody tells you that. It just tells you, oh, you need to not do this and not do that. But how does your mind think? It's like you've experienced something yourself personally, and then it makes it easy for you to teach that, because it's not just coming from a cut, copy, paste world. It's real experience, you can tell. And that's why it's having the effect that it does. Because when we ask you a question, you know the answer because you have experienced it. So it's just like that in everything. And you have that.
Thank you. So if someone's watching this video right now and they are on the fence, either about joining our 2-day event or joining any kind of coaching with me, what would you say to that person?
But sometimes I still don't understand. Such a big thing's happened, like having a diagnosis to having it reversed. It's a big thing. But then I think, how did I do this? I don't understand. There's something that you have, and I think it doesn't matter what they're thinking, what you're thinking, or whoever's wanting to join your program. It doesn't matter what you're thinking, how much you know, how much you don't know. Just join the program, and you'll see. Like, I'm still not sure, but it takes you week by week by week. Your energy is gonna shift. Your energy is gonna shift. Your knowledge will shift, and your wisdom will shift, and your ability to manifest. But before manifesting, you'll go deeper into yourself, learn more about, oh, this is what I'm doing. Oh, this is what I'm doing. And it's like a new person. That new character that we are developing, it's just turning into me. She was there all along, but it's like I'm discovering myself back again.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what you'll get. And that's the biggest thing, I think, to come into yourself more rather than being let in a million pieces everywhere. It just comes back to you.
So on many channels, you'll hear a lot of teachers, including myself, saying persist, staying your wish fulfilled. Don't listen to the echoes. It will come. Right? You got to keep that focus and attention right here, right now. You're still honoring the script, but you're creating energy bigger than the script that you're in. So you got to, the 3D's shouting at you, no, it's not happening, it's not changing, but you got to persist. You got to be stronger than your 3D echoes. How do you understand what we're doing now with focus and attention, not only in the three-month program, but even in the $1,000 a day challenge? What has that taught you?
It does pay off. If you keep doing it, it does pay off, because you have no other option. The other option is to go back into the creating of the old. So it's persisting in the old reality exists already. I've given it so much attention, and I've solidified it. Now, if I want a new reality, it's just the way you explain everything. That was a natural thing for me to do, is saying, oh, I don't like that one. And if I've given it so much attention, why not try something different? Why not give the other one attention? And giving that one attention has worked. So that gives me motivation to keep going for it. Persist, persist, persist. It does. The echoes come anyway.
Yeah.
And the thing is, before, I thought the echoes were me. Now I know the echoes. So as soon as you start seeing your true self, the echo actually stands to the side, and you see it as that. Otherwise, it's just one person. And that's why, and the thing about the apps being open, all the loops being open, it's just so amazing how it is open. There's so many were open, but we want to open the good ones.
Yeah.
And minimize the ones that are not wanted. I don't know. This is just the best thing I've ever done. So
that's awesome.
It's not just thinking about it, just like I wouldn't go back to that.
We're going to wrap things up. How would you just summarize anything else you want to say, anything else you want to share that we haven't touched on? What would you like to share?
I've experienced with so many mind loops open, so many things that have happened to me, that when you're in that, I won't say victim mode,
well,
but you
right?
can feel like a victim, that everything is happening to me, but I see that I'm interacting with that reality. It's not just about manifestation. This is about developing who you are, and it helped me see within myself. So it's got nothing to do with the other person or the outside world, but where I was letting these things and where my thoughts were doing. So I feel as if I have now a big toolkit, which I never had before. So
that's awesome.
I'm happy with that. I feel
congratulations.
Well equipped, and I'm sure there's much to learn. We're still in week five.
And I'm still learning as we go too.
I always have questions.
Yeah, this is a forever journey. Well, I appreciate you deeply for being here, for taking the time to share your story, to share your journey, to just have these wonderful words that you want to speak. I appreciate you deeply.
Well, I appreciate it just as much. That's why.
And there you have it, folks, straight from the person. She had cancer and now she doesn't. Why? because she chose not to, and she did not waver. She did not wobble. She did not falter. She stood strong because she knew that both realities existed, and she knew the one that she wanted to play in, to live in, to enjoy. And when you open up to this power within you, it's very, very powerful. You're never going to want to go back and sleep again. And you're never going to accept what the 3D is saying until it's exactly what it is that you want. And if you want to know how to do that, I'm offering a 2-day event, July 20th and 21st. It is one of the easiest ways to work with me in a small group. You get me on Zoom, you get to ask me real-time questions, and it is probably one of the most inexpensive offerings that I have, that not only can you do a one-and-done payment, but now you have the option to finance it. So it is our dream interpretation, July 20th and 21st. You don't want to miss this event. It is absolutely mind-blowing. And when you walk away, you're going to have the framework through your dreams that come from your subconscious that's trying to come through and share with you the magic that you have within you. Once you see that magic, it's going to be undeniable. All of the information is in the description box below, and I look forward to seeing you in this 2-day event so that we can work together, so that we can start opening your mind to see how small you've been playing, accepting what 3D reality is throwing at you, and what to do once you decide who you are, how to let the unfolding happen so simple and easy and fun. Thank you. And I really appreciate you. Take a moment to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy.